All right, welcome back to round 4 game of GP Ottawa, and we have Styles on mono black mid-range, which you've probably already seen before because somehow we're getting a lot of coverage of mono black mid-range decks versus Cdnewlon, who's on mono red storm.
So Styles is going to 5. Does have a pretty reasonable 5, double discard.
Yeah, against
So,
storm.
which is at least something. Won't have the. He's definitely missing stuff just because it's a 5-card hand, but is what it is.
Starting with the Mind Vultures, in order to actually no, it doesn't really matter which order they play things in, right? Like, do you start with Valdez or the Mind Vultures?
I think you start with Mindfolders generally. I mean, it sets up a potential Soulbreaker
Against a creatureless deck?
No, this isn't creatureless.
Wait, what?
There's Purveyors in it.
Okay, I see.
And it also gives the opponent less information on what's important to discard.
The Last Sacred Gate.
Yeah, so one of the not gimmicky, but one of the deck building decisions that this deck has made, Cdnewlon's, is that they are on only 16 lands, but they are on the Last Sacred Gate as well as a bunch of fetches. So the idea being that you can play fetch turn 1, turn 2, play Last Sacred Gate, and then turn 3 hopefully go off.
So what's the actual combo in Cdnewlon's deck? Styles plays Valdez here.
It is pretty similar to what I was playing, except a lot more all-in. So instead of any kind of residual value or anything like that, so Blackbird Arts and Creativity, those cards, instead you have much more aggressively mana producing or aggressively card filtering cards, so like Make Mana Cash and Prismite Purveyor and Find Greater Purpose as some examples. Much lower land count as well.
And playing it slow.
And then generally the combo kill being you cast instant, you find 2 instances of brilliance and cast them on each other, or just cast one and cast a whole bunch of spells and eventually find another.
Okay, Cdnewlon draws Dacian Empath, which is also one of the combo pieces. Or I mean, it's not really a combo piece, but it's a way to produce mana with Prismite Purveyor. Because that thing's a land when it's in play, so Prismite will see it sack itself and then make mana off of it.
Yeah, so it's kind of 1 mana, make 2.
It's a ritual.
Purveyor. So Last Sacred Gate looking pretty bad here, since Sacred Gate does not cast Prismite Purveyor. Which...
Also, you only have 1 copy, so you can no longer play it as your land drop off the fetch.
That's kind of a bit moot considering it's legendary. I mean, it's the Last Sacred Gate.
Yeah, but like if you didn't draw this Last Sacred Gate and drew another land, then you could have like played the Last Sacred Gate from your deck off the fetch, and that means you don't miss a land drop.
It is a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, it's like drawing garnets or drawing patches if you play Hearthstone.
Yep. So Cdnewlon's hand seems pretty darn awkward.
They can ritual to get to mana fix, right?
Yeah, I mean they can, but like, what are they doing? Because the thing is that Find Greater Purpose and Cash will force a land sack.
That's good for Prismite Purveyor.
Yeah, but you can't have Purveyor in play to see it because you only have 1 red source. So I mean, I guess what you're saying is you
have 2 mana. You can ritual it out.
I feel like you're so likely to whiff off that.
I guess just hold back then.
Yeah, but then like you're relying on. I mean, what makes this hand better? I guess there's a fair amount of things. I mean, Emily Main would be a good draw. Any ritual's fine. Land would be good, but there's also a fair amount of whiffs.
I think I would just fetch a red land, play Dacian Empath, and pass.
I mean, that's not bad, but the thing is the opponent does have a Soul Weaver in play.
Well, if they spend their Soul Weaver killing the Empath, you're fine with that, right?
Are you? I mean, that seems like pretty high value. That was the only draw in Styles' deck that didn't let them cast a spell this turn. I guess Mutagate does as well. But it's really just Mutagate and Ego, which isn't great.
So now you have 3 rituals in hand.
Yeah, so we'll see if Cdnewlon thinks that the 3rd ritual changes the math here. Additionally, they will get an additional land drop because they did hit the land drop last turn, but obviously not doing it this turn. I haven't yet, so that's another man in the calculation. It's also possible, I think, that Styles is just holding up Strike from Shadows.
I think you're alright with that, because like they can't strike in response to you sacking anything, right?
They can't, but if you're expecting Purveyor to actually make mana, then
they're going for it.
Do that.
Well, what? So you play out Jadation Empath, you play out Charismatic Purveyor. They can't kill that thing before you sack Jadation Empath for mana, so you're already going plus mana right there.
No, but the purveyor cost one is my point.
Okay, and then you
Oh,
Magmatic
I guess
Cache
you do.
is a cost, so like you can just play
Yeah,
out
I guess
Magmatic
you will
Cache.
make mana just because empath is a mana ability. Yeah.
Yeah, you can sack Empath to pay for Magmatic Cache. You can do that thing that Card Clan Ironworks used to do with mana ability timing.
I think this is a little bit less tame than what KCI was doing in terms of mana
You mean more tame?
abilities. Oh yeah, it's not as extreme as KCI.
The new line
So
is not going to play out Jadation Empath first. Pitching a Ritual, discarding
so
the left line weight side.
imagine that this cache does have a good amount of hits. Cdnewlon. Emily Main probably does what? I think this should be. Imagine that this is probably good
Yeah, I mean,
to combo off. Because you go empath, you sack it. I think you can.
You can paranoia out the Alchemist.
Yeah, because it's pretty sure that's how paranoia works. So you're going up to what? How much mana? 3 and then
I mean, so this is
5 or 4. So you have exactly enough to go Emily Main.
yeah.
Oh, they had another left on my side. Not used to seeing this art. So you have 5 mana, and then Ally Main makes that 7. Then you can go bar hopping, find greater purpose, and then you're at 3 mana left over with 6 fresh cards, and that's by land, so 7. Oh wait, sorry, 3, 4 mana after that. That should be good enough to win, I'd imagine. I guess more because you have Purveyor with find greater purpose.
Yeah. For Styles, it's just like sitting there and waiting to see what will happen. I don't think there was anything Styles could have done this game.
Yeah, probably not.
Like even if they did draw their fourth land, playing Ego on a board with only 3 permanent doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, they will fortunately have a bit more interaction post board. They do get Seal the Tombs, I believe.
Wait, did CD not play bar hopping first?
Hmm?
They're only at 1 mana right now. Wait, what happened to all their mana? Weren't they going to play out like? Aren't they going to turbo out Emily Main first before playing bar hopping?
I think they're just taking it slow and going mountain, sack bar hopping, and pass. Maybe play up Purveyors too, because they have time to wait on this. Though actually, I mean, they need to hit. They do need to hit a land, which I guess they do end up hitting. But if they didn't hit a land, they wouldn't be able to Emily May next turn because this alchemist would not be making mana. But yeah, they just take the turn off.
Wait,
So
did
it's
he
not
not
to play the second Purveyor.
did he not play the land? Or okay, they did play the land, right?
Yeah,
Because
they just
sacked
sack
the
one
land.
to cash.
Soulbreaker, there we go. And that also, I guess you can draw off the Soul Weaver.
Yeah, makes sense. Try and find a discard spell.
Does CD not use their graveyard at all?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so yeah, Soul Weaver draw is probably the best mode. Well, we got Egos coming down next turn if Styles manages to survive.
Yeah, I have to imagine that Cdnewlon's in a good spot here. Yeah, that should be lethal because you have what? So you go Purveyor, you go Timber Range Crack, you have 2 mana from lands plus a third from Purveyor. Sizzle Mage brings you up to 4. Alchemist brings you up to 5. You can paranoia that off the fetch. Emily Main brings you up to 7. The other Emily Main brings you up to 9. And then you can go Commoning Chaos, escalate twice, instant brilliance it, and that gives you 12 cards and 12 red.
Let's see if CD sees that line. They
I don't
still
know
might
if
be
it
playing
is in
around
the-
Striking the Shadows.
Strike doesn't matter at all here.
Does it? Like you can strike the Charismatic Purveyor, right?
Yeah, but not in response to.
Well, now if you
You
have
can
strike, you strike it now.
Yeah, but they're not making any mana off the Purveyor. So kind of how at least like how my Mono Red Storm deck worked when I played it. Was a couple of GPs back last GP? I don't even remember.
Me neither.
A couple of GPs back. Is that Commoning Chaos? You can escalate it and then copy it, and the escalated modes are also copied.
Oh yeah,
So
you took advantage of that with Bloodbuild Artisan, right?
yeah. So and the thing is that if you can escalate it once and copy it, it's generally a win. I mean, you just get so many cards and so much mana.
Emily
Like,
May
obviously
comes
not
down.
obviously not guaranteed, but so I guess this alchemist is getting paranoid off the legend rule.
Maybe they're just gonna discard the Alchemist.
No, deciding to legend roll it.
All right.
So looking at sideboards,
Are we looking at sideboards already?
But I mean, I'll explain the line, right?
Okay, sure.
If you're a combo deck and you just drew 12 cards and made 12 mana, I think you're winning. Unless ignoring that like Purveyor's in play and
Yeah,
whatnot.
I'll
And
get back to you once Cdnewlon flips off the culminating chaos. Anyways, yeah, sideboarding.
Cdnewlon doesn't really have any sideboard cards for this matchup at all, which kind of expected. Mono red doesn't have great sideboard options for mono black.
Wait, Cdnewlon has a very slim sideboard. It's just Tenacious Guy, Unceasing Flame, Film Munch, and Careless Violence.
Yeah, and then on the style side, they have Seal the Tomb is definitely a good option. Maybe want Strike from Shadows. Not sure exactly how you're.
Alright, Cdnewlon has copied the culminating chaos. Let's see what they flip. Well, first they're gonna get 12 mana, and then they're gonna start flipping.
And that is another what? How much mana is that? Instant Brilliance plus Chaos. Chaos escalate 3 times.
Well,
that's
never
good,
mind.
okay.
There you go. It's the game's over.
Yeah.
That saw the 2 instants of brilliances and conceded.
You don't even need to get to all 12 cards. Yeah, so styles why I want Seal the Tomb. Oh, certainly want Seal the Tomb. Strike from Shadows is maybe better than like say Infectious Ego, maybe. I'm not sure.
Is this like the one time you board out Ego as a mono black deck?
Yeah, I mean you could argue it like does do stuff like if you have like a whole bunch of discard, like particularly high amount of discard, then it does prevent your opponent from just like playing lands for like 4 turns and then calming off.
Right.
But in the case of Cdnewlon's deck, they have 16 lands. Because that's something that you might have noticed about Cdnewlon's deck building is that they really don't like lands for some reason.
I mean, they managed to get away with it so far because all they play are combo decks that cheat on mana.
Yeah, but Infectious Ego is definitely not exceptional to combo decks or any kind of extremely linear stuff.
Yeah. What are you trying to hit with the Seal the Tomb?
I mean, Instant Brilliance is definitely like the easy answer. I guess maybe I should go back to Cdnewlon's sideboard and say that maybe you want to bring in Unceasing Flames, just have an additional win condition.
Yeah, but that thing also gets sealed.
Yeah, but you need they need 2 seals instead of 1. Is more difficult. But instant is the win condition. Otherwise, you're probably looking to hit Culminating Chaos, just because that is the kind of pretty straightforward win.
It seems like both players have kept 7. Styles has a hand with 3 discard spells and nothing else. Cdnewlon has, to quote Styles, that's a good hand, lol.
Is this? Well, I don't know if this is a good hand or not. Like, it's obviously a keepable hand, but at the same time, I'm not really seeing what this hand does.
You turn 3 bar hopping and like you discard your hand.
Good old 1 with nothing. I guess breakthrough. 3 mana breakthrough.
What did Sal's name?
I was still thinking on it.
Oh right, they're not playing Valdez, they're playing Pay Up.
So that's an Judacian. Not sure on that choice.
I mean, it's ramp. Like, you take your opponent's 1-drop, and then they can't do anything, and you have more time to start Valdezing them.
Yeah, that's fair. I would have been more inclined to take Sizzle Major Brilliance. Main, I think, is the highest value card, but you have 2 Valdezes, so...
Hey, there's Strike in the Shadows.
Certainly doesn't have any targets. And I have to imagine this is high, and then this second Valdez should also be high.
Alright, so then I guess the game's kind of even now, because I still think Sal's is kind of unfavored right now because they have nothing while Cdnewlon still has stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like combo decks go, you do need to say, oh, well, how many more cards do they need to do literally anything? And for Cdnewlon, I think that's a fair number.
They just need to draw into like Mana Cash or something.
Yeah, but that, I mean, even Mana Cash puts them behind no mana. Where like in comparison, Styles needs to draw like.
Ooh, they get to grab the last Sacred Gate because they have no good plays this turn.
But in comparison, Styles needs to hit like a spell. Like all Styles spells are good here.
Not all of them. I don't think Soulbreaker is very good right now.
I mean, even Soulbreaker's fine. I mean, it still is a pretty good clock.
Wait, if we might get a poison kill if Sal's manages to draw a bunch of Soulbreakers.
And Cdnewlon's hand is definitely getting closer to doing stuff. But still doesn't quite do anything. Well, there's an ego, so Spells did keep at least 2 egos in. Definitely not unreasonable too. Like I was saying, egos like kind of suspect, but
at least 2.
Slim down to like 2 egos.
Like, how do you know it's not 1?
Well, yeah, you could go down 1 too, but But this is kind of the situation I was talking about, where Ego is good against combo decks. Where okay, that's a draw from Cdnewlon.
Do you go for
That
it?
does make it. I think so. I mean, you either go for it or you pass, right?
You can play bar hopping and sack it to Ego.
But well, you just got to. Ego doesn't attack before your end step.
Right. It's hand size. Right.
I mean, you can choose to draw 0, I guess. I mean, that's kind of valid, I guess, but that's not the craziest thing.
I mean, like, yeah, you can just choose to draw 1, right? Because it's twice as that many.
Yeah, but hopping's I mean, you can draw 1, but it is. Oh no, sorry. For some reason, I'm thinking. Yeah. You would need to discard even if it shows 1, but okay, so what can Cdnewlon actually do here? Because if they are just going for, hey, I'm going to combo here, then you probably go Sizzle Mage, Instant of Brilliant,
Really?
and then Whimsy. Oh, I think just because if you lead off with Whimsy, then you do get the additional land hit. I guess you can go left on wayside, Sizzle Mage, and copy it.
Yeah, but that's not super obvious.
I mean, I think that's something Cdnewlon can find if they want to be doing that. But that will give you, 6 mana? 7? 6 mana and then a land drop remaining. So you're casting Whimsy with 4 mana open. But if you whiff off the Whimsy, you just instantly lose. So
do you instantly lose? You still have next turn.
Well, yeah, but if you just hit like this isn't that many dead cards in Cdnewlon's deck, but if you just hit 2 lands, that's a very extreme example that is like probably sub 0.1%. Then yeah, you do just lose. I mean, you just have bar hopping in hand.
I mean, you can like try to bar hopping as the last resort. Cdnewlon's finally doing something.
So I think this is either all the rituals Whimsy or just Whimsy. And it does look like they're going for all the rituals here. So they are deciding to hold the Instant of Brilliance.
Yeah, like I said, it's not obvious that you should be copying your rituals with Instants of Brilliance. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I thought you were talking about just the not having to play your land drop. Besides bar hopping?
Well, I mean, they're taking a big risk.
Way more risky. I mean, they get paid off because they hit the fine greater purpose. But like,
never punished. No, they hit find greater purpose plus a bunch of rituals.
Yeah, I think that's like some of the most nut straws you can get here, to be honest. I don't know if I can think of better draws than that.
Clearly,
2 rituals, accommodating chaos, and a way to get out of bar hopping.
I mean, clearly Cdnewlon had the heart of the cards, and that's why they decided to play bar hopping there, because they knew with their Millennium Eye that they were going to get good draws off bar hopping. Right? I don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh, so I don't know if the analogy makes sense at all.
I don't know, I kind of tuned it out, but it sounds about right. So something about the Millennium Eyes, some ancient Egyptian ancestors or something.
They're not going to go for it. Or like, they're going to wait a turn.
Kaijao fading out this last sacred gate, getting the mana denial.
Well, wait, Cdnewlon doesn't even have to sack anything because they managed to get their remnants count down.
The rare mana denial coming out of mono black.
I mean, black has land destruction in its killer pie, right? So I mean,
are there any black land death effects in MSEM?
I don't know. I never searched them because I wasn't thinking about building a black land death deck.
I mean, I just don't think I've seen any of these. Actually, there probably are some at like random high mana costs. Oh boy, you can play Rouse from below. 5 mana, destroy target land, create a 2/2 zombie. And that's the only one that's mono black.
That's kind of like Avalanche Riders, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, like Avalanche Riders has Echo, so I mean, it's basically like Avalanche Riders, except you have to pay up front instead of it having Echo. Anyways, how do you win here?
How much mana do you have? Well, you have 1, 2, 3 rituals. So
where's the third ritual?
Mana.
Oh, right, it's
in play
from exile. Yeah. Okay, so
I don't think you have quite a clear win here. I think if you did have an additional land, so the Kaijao didn't come down, it's kind of funny. It'd be a bit more clear because you could go ritual. That puts you on 7 mana. with your 4 lands. So you can go Chaos, Escalator once, and instant targeting it.
So here you only
And
have 6
then-
mana, I guess.
Yeah, but with only 6, you can't escalate at all. Or you can escalate, but you can't copy it.
Maybe just play Goddess as a Whimsy and see what happens. I mean, like, Cdnewlon already spun the dice or spun the wheel by playing bar hopping without really looking at what's on top of their deck. So I mean, I'm pretty sure they're ready for another go.
Yeah, the concern here is that you are sacking a land. Like, you are untapping your 3 lands next turn too. So playing slow doesn't necessarily get you all that much. And you will actually have to be sacking a land here regardless.
Why?
Because either the ego gets you or the Kaijao gets you.
I mean, just play out some random creature, like play out one of your Sigil Mages to sack the ego instead of the land.
Yeah, but then you still sack to Kaijao.
Why do you have to sack the Kaijao? Oh,
Because you sack
right, it had the triggered ability on hit. I forgot that this thing can actually attack.
Like, Kaijao is a pretty good card. Definitely a lot funnier in matchups with like Valdez. Valdez mirror matches become much just immensely humorous when players have Kaijao. Kaijao mirror matches are also very funny because of course Kaijao can phase out Kaijao and then you like hit and then they have to sack a legend and so they try and play a legend to sack to Kaijao so their Kaijao can hit you to make you sack your Kaijao. It's pretty funny.
They're ritualing.
Yeah, so
they're playing Left on Wayside instead of Leaf Down Citadel Mage from Exile.
Oh, what do you mean from Exile? Oh, I mean they're just playing all of them. I can't mad. I mean, I guess maybe it's. I don't think it really matters.
Okay, they're copying the Leaf Down Citadel Mage, and they're starting the clock.
This will give them 7 mana, with a land drop, so they will be able to Chaos Escalate twice. They just decided to do it once.
Huh. I guess they want to save their land drop for Prismatic Purveyor. Or maybe they just forgot that they could play a land this turn. Oh, well, you need to keep these things separate unless you plan on casting Magmatic Catch this turn.
No, they're all the same. Common Chaos is till end of turn. Find Greater Purpose is till end of next turn.
Wait, were those from Find Greater Purpose? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, from last turns. So Cdnewlon hits another Common Chaos, which means they can spin again if they want.
In the wheel!
But otherwise...
They can also Magmatic Catch to try to find more wheels to spin.
Yeah, the Cdnewlon will just have to choose another wheel to spin. I think they are actually running out of rituals, almost.
Really? How many rituals have they used so far?
Well, I mean, so what? So they've spent 2 Left on Wayside, 3 Sizzle Mages, and the two Emily mains got binned. So they are on. They do have the Alchemists left, I suppose, but they have used half their rituals in their deck.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you get an insane hand off bar hopping. You draw all your rituals, and then you do nothing with them. Why is Sal's thinking? Oh yeah, right.
Why do we take 1? In the grand scheme of life, what is taking 1? What does it mean to take 1 damage?
Yeah, Instance of Brilliance is basically a preemptive grape shot, right?
Wait, what is Sal's thingy on? Nothing to strike from shadows. Oh, they're representing Seal the Tomb. Wait, what? Wait. That's some commitment to it. Wow.
Wait, then why would you not play Seal Team right now if you had it?
I mean, you can wait until after the draw and try to hand attack them. But
well, now you do it if you have it. Like if Sal doesn't commit to the bid
right now, but okay. So Purveyor is mana neutral.
Actually, now Sal's finally has a target for Strike in the Shadows, and now you're gonna strike it because otherwise they can sack it in response.
Yeah, I think with this empath line, Styles might actually. I think Styles might be winning this now with this line.
Wait, really?
Because Purveyor is gonna go down in mana, and I don't know if Cdnewlon has enough resources to go off now.
Okay, Styles revealing that they do not have Seal the Tomb.
Because like even after sacking this empath, Cdnewlon only has 3 mana and no rituals in hand and not many rituals in deck.
Yeah.
And yeah, they can play out a Sizzle Mage, but they're all going to have to sack a land here to either the Kaijao or the Ego.
Did they have a land drop remaining this turn? Because they could have played out their fetch land pre-Charismite and sack it at mana ability speed.
That's a good question.
Or like not mana ability speed, but in response to the kill spell.
Have they not played a land this turn?
I don't think so. They started the turn with 3 lands.
Yeah, and then sacked one to cash. It is admittedly a bit hard to tell because playing land from exile wouldn't necessarily. I guess with how they're doing it would show up because it's all attached and you get the unattached message. But still, they only have 4 mana.
I guess they wanted to Goddess's Whimsy and play a land drop off of that. That's why I didn't play a land this turn yet. Or they could just be missequency. I mean that's also an option.
I mean it did kind of feel like they should have been able to. I mean, I think even from the start, just escalating Chaos twice and just being like, yeah, I don't care about the land drops. I feel like escalating Chaos twice probably would have gotten there.
Yeah.
Just I forget if I guess they didn't hit any rituals off the first Chaos, but they did hit a second Chaos, so would have had a lot more resources if they just maxed out the first Chaos. But at the moment, they seem like they don't have enough resources to really get anything going this turn, and certainly not the next turn either. If they had 1 more mana here, so with what you were saying with, just play a land for the empath, then they would have 5 mana. They could culminate Chaos and wipe the board.
Do they still? Do they have a culminating Chaos? Oh yeah, they have it in exile.
Yeah, and that would leave them at least a couple turns to start building up resources. The Styles is empty-handed, and that would clear the board.
They have Valdez's coming down though.
Yeah, but I mean, Cdnewlon's at 16, playing cards in hand. 2 brick Valdez.
Cdnewlon finally playing their land, probably realizing that they should have done this before playing Charismite Purveyor.
I mean, maybe Styles just successfully bluffed them, and they thought, oh, Styles has Seal the Tomb. No way they have Strike from Shadows here. I can read my land drops.
That would have actually been
Yeah.
Womp womp. I guess Cdnewlon no longer has the hard cards anymore.
Yeah, now it's just pass. Sacred Gate comes back in play. Styles attacks, Ego trigger kills the last Sacred Gate, because otherwise it dies to Kaijao.
Well, Ego number 2.
That Ego trigger will also kill the Sacred Gate.
Maybe Cdnewlon just forgets that Kaijao has an attack trigger.
Yeah, I'd hope that they read Styles cards correctly, and they do.
They do.
Wait, this Common Chaos and Cash should not be playable, right?
Right. Well, I mean, they can just clean it up later.
Yeah, but just making sure I'm not understanding the board state.
That was also listed this.
Point that out.
Now, do you play Ego number 2 or Valdez here?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Maybe it changes the clock somewhat.
I mean, they're both lethal off 0 blockers, and they're both not lethal off 1 blocker. So
I guess a board of 2 Egos looks more intimidating.
And maybe there's an argument that you play Valdez just because if your opponent can get up to 5 mana for Culminating Chaos, they can wipe the board. And Ego coming down is a much faster clock than Valdez.
Cdnewlon is not going to even try to see what they flip off Goddess's Whimsy. They're just going to concede.
Yeah. One thing about Goddess's Whimsy is it does take a lot of mana, so yeah, but probably not even worth trying to.
But at least spin the wheel. Like we want to see some wheels spin, even if it doesn't do anything, just because
goddamn gambling addict.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do kind of think that Cdnewlon it definitely feels like Cdnewlon fumbled that a little bit. And even just having Chaos double Pyroclasm at the end would have saved them at least a little bit.
Well, here's a hand with tons of discards, but Styles can't keep it because they only have 1 tapped land.
Is this not keepable?
I think it's way too risky.
Like, you want the draw.
Well,
Styles does decide to mull. I think this is a better hand.
Yeah.
But
Cdnewlon also
isn't
keeps.
That great.
What's Cdnewlon going to do if they don't top deck another land?
Find the last Sacred Gate.
Good point. But then that means they can't draw Vegetation and pass turn 1.
Yeah, so immediately them fetching Sacred Gate is something Styles isn't too unhappy about, because they do have this Profane MSA, which can find Kaijao, and it's not like they have much else going on.
I think they're going to try to find Pellet Pools first.
Well, no, you find Kaijo always, right? Because Kaijo
Yeah,
also
I
turns on
guess.
MSA. They have 4 lands, so.
Aiming high, that strips bar hopping, so Cdnewlon won't be tempted to play naked bar hopping and somehow luck out into a good hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure how lucky they needed to be for that ball hopping to work out. It probably wasn't that lucky, but they draw pretty well off it. That was in game 1, right?
Game
Yeah.
2.
Oh, it was in game 2?
Yeah.
Oh wait, they had that slow combo start. So imagine that Xenon's pretty happy. Well, I guess they do have fine greater purpose for the ball hopping.
Yeah, but still, like, come on.
But Chaos is a much better card than ball hopping.
And it's only a 2-drop. Well, wait, is it the 2-drop or a 3-drop?
No, it's a 3-drop.
Right.
Does discard just decide to discard Chaos?
Wow, I think they're really in love with bar hopping.
So it doesn't hit a second land. Does find instant. Maybe that makes them regret discarding Chaos a little bit. And we'll find the last Sacred Gate. And this does mean they can play at Empath too.
Yeah. So if they top deck a land, next turn they get 4 mana.
So imagine you always play Profane MSA here.
Yeah, of course you do.
So on Cdnewlon's side, I'm mad.
That's a top deck land.
Yeah, I don't think that matters too much because they did have Sizzle Mage and Left on Wayside to get up to 4 mana if they wanted to. Imagine this is just ball hopping, find greater purpose.
I mean, if they find some way to continue the chain, then maybe they will.
I don't think you can really continue after that because you are just tapping out for that.
You can Instance of Brilliance your rituals.
God, that would be wild if you just go for that here. And there's Sizzle Mage, and then this should be ball hopping plus find greater purpose.
Well, that's a safe play, but like if you want to gamble, you can start ritualing a bit more. Okay, Cdnewlon is going to play it safe.
God, could you even ritual much more? I mean, you can go Left on Wayside, Instant Brilliance.
Yeah, that's 2 more mana.
It puts you up to 6.
Yeah, so then you can like bar hop into more rituals. Oh, well, I mean, there's 2 Instance of Brilliances, so like they do have like something, right? If they find another 1 mana spell, they can get the combo off and win.
Well, they just win next turn.
Well, they need something to target with the 2 instances. Like they need a single spell to start the chain.
Oh, that is true.
But instants can copy your opponent's spells, right?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
Absolutely not. There is a downside to this card. It's not just Reverberate plus plus. That's fine. Kaijo.
So that puts Cdnewlon down on mana next turn, which means they can't actually get the Instance of Brilliance off, right? They need to find a ritual or another ritual in order to get the full combo.
Do they need more than? I think they need more than that, don't they?
Yeah.
More than just a ritual.
Well, if they find like one of their 1 mana cantrips, they can ritual and then they have 5 mana, which gives them enough stuff to start.
Yeah, so they need a 1 mana cantrip and a ritual.
They already have left on Wayside.
Wait, they have left.
More lands. I mean, that's fine. Like if they get enough mana, they will be able to combo off with just left on Wayside plus the 2 instances.
Yeah, Stars does have a Soulbreaker to clear out the Empath.
Actually, no, they have Calming Chaos. They can just play that and escalate, or I mean, just play it for 3. Or to flip 2 cards.
I mean, don't have much else to do.
If they don't play it, they lose it, so they might as well do it.
I mean, I guess if you're like particularly daring, you could ritual escalate it. But, like maybe if you're particularly concerned about Styles finding a way to stop you from anything, but I think that's probably not worth it considering that also leaves you open to Valdez hitting a instant, whereas currently Left on Wayside does insulate you from Valdez a little bit.
If you flip Emily Maying off the Calming Chaos, I think you're actually really happy. So because you can cast it off your ritual plus Empath.
Well, you just cast off the Chaos mana, right?
2 mana, and then you still need to pay 2 more for the 4-drop.
Right. I was talking about if you go land, ritual, Chaos, escalated once.
Actually, is there a downside to going for that, or is there a downside to going for ritual into Chaos rather than Chaos and then ritual?
Yeah, I mentioned that Instance of Brilliance no longer be protected from Valdez at that point. And also you just give up the ritual that you have in hand if you don't hit anything.
Surely you're going to hit something. Like, that's 4 cards.
I mean, well, you say that, but it's like a reasonable amount of cards that don't do anything here. I mean, including more Instance of Brilliance is...
Wait, what?
Yeah, decides to just play Civil Mage instead of the Chaos.
They're taking it very slow. Very slow and methodical. Wait, they just lose the Chaos, right?
This does work out kind of okay.
Wait a minute, what? Why would they not play the Culminating Chaos? They can just play the Leaf Down Silver Mage off the Chaos Man if they really wanted to.
I guess that's true, but at that point, were they hitting opposite chaos that does anything like double ritual? I guess.
Like, there's no downsides to doing that, right? Because you end up with the same result, but you get to spin the wheel one time.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know where you're on the do you loot when you have 0 cards in hand argument.
But this isn't like looting when you have 0 cards. It's like looting when you have 1 card. Or no, it's looting when you have 2 cards, because you can always just default to your best play. Wait, what? They take it? Oh, never mind. Right, Soul Breaker. Right. Okay, I think Cdnewlon has 1 turn to win this.
Yeah, I believe they are dead next turn.
They should fetch right now so that they don't.
Ooh, they are dead, right?
Unfortunate. See, this is why they should have played Culminating Chaos to clear more lands off the top.
Yeah, I think what this really shows is that they're playing too many lands. Very, very clearly playing what 16 lands is just too many. I mean, they're 20 cards deep in the deck and they've drawn 11. I mean, just shows that you should be playing less lands. I mean, you only need 4 lands in your deck to win, so just play only 4 lands.
And then find them every time with land grant, assuming land grant is in the format.
If you ask very politely, maybe someone will sneak a once upon a time into their set and no one will notice. You know, like, it's possible that you can maybe sneak some money to someone somewhere.
Bribe a council member.
We'll do this, by the way, but yeah, Cdnewlon is dead. That is very unlucky. I don't know exactly how many outs they had there, but it has to have been a lot. I mean, so Ritual gets them there. So any Ritual gets them there. So that's Alchemist, Sizzle Mage. I guess Empath doesn't get them there. Does Purveyor get them there? Purveyor does, right?
Yes, off the Wayfarer Shrine that they wisely did not crack, even though I feel like they should have.
Wait, do they have enough fetchable lands?
Oh, good question.
Yes, they do, right?
How many?
They have 4 mountains.
Only 4 mountains? Wait, this deck loses to mill because you can easily just mill all their fetchable lands.
Turn 1 mill for you. You mill all your mountains, you lose.
And then and then bring in Seal of Tomb just adds, insult to injury.
So of course all the 1 mana cantrip S cards get there. So like Mana Cache, Find Greater Purpose, mentioned Ritual, so left on the right side. Whimsy does get there, right?
It's a risk.
No, Whimsy gets there because you go land, Ritual, and then Whimsy, copy.
Right.
It just gives you a spell.
Yeah, you go up to 6 mana, right.
Chaos. I guess Chaos doesn't.
Chaos lets you spin the wheel, so you might get there.
Yeah, the Chaos lets you spin the wheel, or you can just board wipe. And that should give you ample time to find something. So I think it was actually just land instance of brilliance. Bar hopping? I guess bar hopping probably doesn't work either.
Yeah.
So I think there's 10, 12 cards in Cdnewlon's deck that did not win them the game there.
That's unfortunate.
Which is wild.
So how's Mono Black Midrange doing right now in the GP?
Well, pretty hard if it's drawing like this all the time. But yeah, I'm just kind of in shock, I think. I'm not going to say it's the worst draws I've seen in MSEM, because I've also seen back when Infuse was in the weird period between original Infuse and Re-Infuse. I think Insert Name played it.
Oh yeah, they drew
all 4 Unleash the
Yeah, I remember
dragons.
that game.
And not only that was game 2 after dying turn 3 to King Ken combo, which Amelie, and you might say that King Ken combo can't actually turn 3 kill, but that was when shifting lands were nerfed, so they could.
Oh yeah, right.
I think that was the most wild game, but that game we just watched was definitely out there with just how many outs Cdnewlon had. I didn't quite emphasize it so much on the previous turns, but I think they also drew a land on the previous turn.
Well, they drew a bunch of lands off the bar hopping, right?
Oh yeah, wait, how many lands did they draw off the bar hopping too?
It's 3, right? Yeah, I think they drew 3 lands off the bar hopping. I guess replays are open now, so
yeah, I'm pulling up. So they bar hopping turn 3 with Find Greater Purpose. Bar hopping draws 3 lands and an instant of brilliance.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And at this point, they had before drawing those 3 lands, they only had 11 lands left in deck.
So what's the chances of that? Do we have to do a hypergeometric calculation?
Give me a second. So what? 4 cards. You have 11 lands. What's the chance you get 3 or more? 1.7%.
Wonderful. Absolutely amazing. Man, this is such a comedy of errors. No, it's just Cdnewlon getting absolutely screwed over by luck.
Yeah, admittedly, not to be. They weren't like the most unlucky they could have been. I mean, they won the play. They did definitely have chances. Even at the end, and the Styles definitely did have interactive pieces. If Styles was on the play, then something Kaijao was coming down to an earlier and killing Sacred Gate. The clock is a full turn faster as well.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if this is the case for. At least it's the case for me. Whenever I lose to abysmal luck, it's like it doesn't hurt quite as bad if I like actually made errors, because I mean it's at least partly my fault. Because I'm assuming that you agree that Cdnewlon definitely could have played it a little bit cleaner in game 2.
I agree.
Because that definitely did seem like a winning spot. And obviously, if they do pick up that game 2 win, they don't have to play a game 3. So, but definitely don't want to get that unlucky in any situation.
Yeah, and with that, I guess small black mid-range is probably going to be commentated in another one of our videos. So look forward to that.
Yeah.